Hi, Taurus, and welcome to your August 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, coming on to talk to you a little bit about your month ahead. What an interesting and life-changing, perhaps, month coming up for you. There is a big shift in personality, perhaps, or characteristic that you're starting to notice for yourself. And it seems to be such a wisening, such a strong amount of wisdom that is really starting to come in for Taurus, along with a more panoramic view of where you're coming from and how that has shaped your motivation. Basically, it's a large amount of intelligence that you're gaining this month and new understanding of how you want to move forward. So as usual, Taurus, in this reading, I'm going to talk about general intuitive messages for your month ahead. I'm going to do a week-to-week tarot forecast, and then we'll do an extended reading on Patreon if you want to see more about your month. So generally for Taurus, I feel like there's a marking of time past in the month of August, and this might even be more clear in September because it kind of feels like you've got to go through August to really get that experience, but it's like a huge bundle of experience coming in for you here, and the type of experience that kind of really levels you up, that kind of really changes your perspective, kind of like really seeing how the world works, seeing how the wheel turns. You've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed as your only major arcana card this month, so there's a change in fortune here. There's maybe a change in material status, like you could see that certain money problems that you used to have just are not phasing you now. Also, it can go the other way too. Like now you can see that certain bills that used to be easy to pay are a little bit of a challenge to make happen now. Also, there is just a philosophy of time, money, and energy that might be changing in your life. Maybe you're no longer stuck in scarcity mindsets. Maybe there's better acceptance, and for that you can see more very easily come into your life. So I think that this is not a time to really be investing for Taurus. It's not really a time to take any type of financial risk. It's very likely not a time to change the game for yourself. Okay, you've got Five of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune reversed coming up in your reading. I always say with that combination, keep your cards close to your chest and probably don't make any huge power moves, any huge money moves, anything like that, unless it's been well planned for a long time, because there's a gambling streak and also a potential for losses with that combination. And what that combination of energy really tries to assert, or the positive of it, is the loss of what you don't need. Okay, so losing a scarcity mindset, a poverty consciousness, no longer being haunted by a previous betrayal or a previous trauma. That's what is seeking to be lost here. But if there's an unwillingness to face any of that stuff, and instead a compensation factor that comes up through some type of gambling mentality, of course the losses can be of the financial type, or of the even relationship type. This could be a breakup for some Taurus. This could also be the ending of a certain career industry, but nothing happens in vain. These aren't like the types of losses that are bad for you. These are like, with Wheel of Fortune, whenever it's reversed, it's like the things that we lose or the things that leave our life are for the best. Sometimes it takes that loss to give you what you actually wanted in the first place, So for everybody, not just Taurus people, in the month of August, the universe shows where we're at. Okay, it shows us who we really are. And there's no veneer, no facade, no lights, camera, and smoke machines that can really alter that truth. And that's harsh for a lot of people. I mean, I'm seeing that. Everybody I know is seeing that, where it's like, gosh, I really thought I was on top of the world. I really thought that, I was elevating into this place, and you are. But through that elevation, you see more distance. You have more to sum up for yourself. And then you start to see like all of the things you didn't know about as well. Like you see like, gosh, I didn't know that over those mountains was like, a crater where like a asteroid hit or something. It's like, whoa. Like, and just that's just kind of a random example. It's like we might think that over those mountains, thinking of yourself as if you're like some of the first humans ever exploring the world, and you're like, we're climbing this mountain and we're going to find what's on the other side of this mountain. On the other side of this mountain are going to be lush fields with agriculture, and we're going to like have all these crops, and like it's going to like once we climb this mountain, we're going to like lay claim to like all of this agriculture, and it's totally never been seen by any humans. Then you get to the other side of it, it's like wasteland, or it's like glacier, or it's like, an asteroid has hit, and you're like, gosh, we used so much resources to get over these mountains, and that was never something that we even needed to do. But this is like the pioneering spirit, of humans. Like we do this type of thing, and it's part of the human condition to like convince yourself with the imagination that something is on the other side of something, and then you get there and it's like, so this is what it really is. Like the universe has generated this instead. That I feel is what Taurus is going through now, and it could be really good too. Like you could get on the other side of the mountain, you're like, oh my god, it's like a diamond mine or something, or it's like there's like diamonds like on the ground, or there's like there's infinite spring water here or something, and this is really, really great for us. Like I'm just feeling energetically that that's what you're going through. Like you don't really know what's on the other side of this current mountain. It could be wasteland, it could be like diamonds, like it could be anything. So there's like that's kind of reaffirming this sort of gambling streak that I'm feeling for Taurus as well with Wheel of Fortune reversed. Like, would you spend all of your money, make all of your energy go toward climbing this mountain, not knowing what's on the other side of it? Would you invest everything that you have into that climbing process without an understanding of what's on the other side? Is that what you need? Can other people do this? Do you have to be the one? Like, does it have to be like this? Are there people who might also have an interest in this who can help you? Try to not take risks, okay? And also understand like what should maybe be a group project instead of a one-man thing. So any type of like one-man companies, like one-man vendettas as well, or like anything like that would be something that I would not want to indulge in if I were a Taurus. So see if you can get other people interested in your projects as well. That's always a good test too. Like, is the rest of the group like wanting to climb this mountain? Do they really not care what's on the other side of it? Also, like once I get to the other side of it, are they just going to lay claim to what's over there? Like, will I get any credit for this actually? All of these to me feel like things that Taurus needs to think about. So let's bring that down a little bit into a more mundane context. Do I really need to be in a relationship with this person for 5 years just to have confirmation that they really struggle with narcissism? Do I have to climb that mountain? Do I need to work 3 jobs and actually do that for a year to find out that no one should ever work 3 jobs, and that should not be something that anyone ever has to go through? Or can I know that on the other side of it? I've said that for a while now on this channel, because we need that affirmation, I think. Because I'm seeing a lot of people just like flying by the seat of their pants, just like testing things out. Like, well, like I have never gotten ahead with money, and I now have a really successful business, and I still have my full-time job. And now that I'm working a few less hours in my full-time job, I'm going to take on a 3rd part-time job just to really get ahead, even though I've done the math and that 3rd part-time job pays 1/5 of the tax that my business will owe. Though I'm still going to work more hours at that part-time minimum wage job than at my business to afford 1/5 of the tax burden of my business by having worked really, really hard. There's a lot of mentality that thinks that that's like, yeah, let's do it. It's more money, like more for me, more for me. Like people are like more. Like we don't know our limits, some of us right now. I feel like I'm preaching here. And this is not to be like, I know, like, because Taurus is kind of there too. Like, I know that it only makes 1/5 of the tax burden, but that's 1/5 more money in my pocket. Like, that's like making my work week, combining my business and my full-time job and my new minimum wage part-time job. That's making my work week like 90 hours, but I'm making 1/5 more. Actually, it's 1/7 more money. I'm making 1/7 more money. Okay. And that is like the difference between like the gas in my car, and like that is like the difference between like being able to like buy my lunches every day, but I'm working 90-hour work weeks. Like, it's insanity. And we have to like wake up because like Taurus, we're in year of the ox, you know, it's your year. It's a 2 year. You're the second sign of the zodiac. And you think of like oxes, you know, there are some that are wild and they are more free, but ox has been a very like enchained animal that has like really been bogged down and forced into labor. So we have to really be careful as Taurus people about especially like these 90-hour work weeks, and then also then like taking out like huge amounts of debt to where like we can never stop working 90-hour work weeks. Like, it's just crazy. And like this is in a month like August, here is where you can be like, no, it's going to be 30-hour work weeks actually. And that is pushing it. And actually, when it's all said and done, when it all comes out in the wash, my life didn't change that much when I worked 30 hours a week compared to when I worked 90 hours a week. And that's like a truth, okay? That's like a crazy truth. And Taurus has to see that truth for themselves and in the ways of their life in which it applies, because not for everyone is it going to be career. Like for some people, this can even be like from like I don't know, serial polygamy or something. Like I want open relationships and I really have to try to be in a relationship with 4 different people at once just to see that that's going to literally bring a Goliath of chaos into my life. Like I know that on the other side of this, but like I'm going to try it. Like I know that working 90-hour work weeks is like an extreme level of self humiliation and self sabotage, but I'm gonna try it because that's money. And like I'm gonna try to own 7 rental properties and take out loans for that. I've never owned rental properties before, but that's an asset. And that's how you start making passive income in your life. Okay, Taurus, we gotta maybe start having walks in nature, or we gotta maybe start having barefoot moments on the grass and looks at the sky to understand that this life is not about these types of bondage, okay? It's really important for this month. Let's talk about your week to week. Week number 1, you've got the 6 of Swords reversed, rooted down by the High Priestess. So it's about faith. It's about spirituality in the first week of August, okay? And we don't need to escape from ourselves. That's a lot of what this is, these 90-hour work weeks, these 7 rental properties, these serial polygamy with like 4 different relationships at once. This is like, I can't be with myself. I can't like actually, like I've always got to be running away from something. I've always got to be like zoom, zoom, zoom. Like it's very kind of like the sign after you, Gemini. It's like the mind going a million different places. So in a way, I see that evolution happening for you, where it's like you are sort of becoming like the next sign, but at the same time, you need to think about who you really are. And you need to think about, if you can, like what is watching out for you. You know, also like as you're working these 3 different jobs, like who's on your team, okay? Like as you're like dating 4 different people, like who really is like on your side, you know? Because here's the thing, like we need allies this day and age. We need people on our team. We need support networks. And when we get stuck in these like bondages, it really sort of puts us into more isolated energetic spaces. So what I mean is when we date 4 different people at once, people lose respect for us, okay? And who do we call in our moment of need? Well, when we call them, they think, ugh, they're dating 4 different people. They're having that experience. What can I really do for them? Like, it's just like a sad truth, but it is true. We got to really straighten up here. Week 2, you got the Wheel of Fortune reversed, rooted down by Page of Wands. It's kind of a fun reading. Kind of fun. Like, not all Taurus are there, but these are just kind of extreme examples. Like, in fact, not many Taurus are there at all. But what I'm doing in this reading is I'm showing you some very extreme examples because I'm feeling the Taurus mindset to be kind of skirting the edge, like maybe I should try open relationships. Maybe I should take on another job. Maybe I should make a little bit more money. Like It starts there, and then before you know it, it's like a slippery slope, and here we are. And I want to help you guys to avoid the slippery slope. Week 2, slippery slope. Wheel of Fortune reverse, rooted down by Page of Wands. The impulse factor. You got to start channeling it in the way that helps you. So that business, okay? Not the 2 other jobs, that business. Focus on that. That one relationship, that one person who loves you or who loved you all those years ago, and it all got really confused because of those other people involved. Like, that one person, okay? That one business, that one rental property, like, make it perfect, make it beautiful. Build and construct yourself these perfect things, because let's get a little psychological here. There is a fear that it's going to fall through. Like, I don't want to trust this one person because of that hard breakup a few years ago, so I need 4 people in my life. I don't want to trust this one rental property because my house had a plumbing catastrophe, and I'm afraid that one will too. I need to have 6 other ones just in case. I don't trust that this business will do well because of the economy, so I've got to work 2 jobs while I do this business just to feel safe. And through this, all 7 of the rental properties have plumbing problems. All 4 of the relationships fail, and all 3 of the jobs continue on without any type of mobility. We have to know what is a trap, what is a slippery slope. Week 3, you've got 5 of Pentacles rooted down by Page of Swords. That's where it shows you. Like, this is the future of this. Like, look at the charts, look at the momentums. You're an investor. Look at those 5-year, momentums and see what's happened. It's getting so high, it's getting so inflated. Would we put all of our money into it now? I don't know about that. We have to take the context into account. We have to ask ourselves, who do I know in my life that 4 different relationships at once has worked out well for? Who has 3 different jobs stood the test of time with? Maybe even ask people, like, find people, I don't know, on Reddit or something, and be like, hey, I saw that you worked 3 different jobs. I saw that you had 7 rental properties. How did that go for you over 5 years? Oh, with those 7 different rental properties, you ended up over a period of 5 years actually running a deficit. Okay. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, it is really expensive to do house repairs right now. It's really hard to access the service industry, isn't it? Like, there is a moratorium on evictions. Maybe not the right time. So we have to kind of know, not to say whether any of this is right or wrong. Like, it's not a statement about eviction moratoriums, but as someone who's maybe gotten somewhere, like Taurus have gotten somewhere where they've maybe saved up enough to invest in rental properties, in this current system, in this current context, does it really make sense? Okay. You will have a deficit, most likely. Week 4, King of Swords, rooted down by Page of Pentacles. Okay, so you get it. 4th week of August is like the pinnacle. It's like, wow, I understand. Wow, I really know what I need to do now. Like, through these first 3 weeks, which are like some of the most chaotic weeks I've ever seen for Taurus, but they heal you, they get you back in order, they help you to make the right decisions, all right? It is crystal clear by the end of August, but perhaps by the end of September as well. It's crystal clear what you want to grow. And I hope that this reading thus far has not seemed like too harsh in any way, because it's kind of like examples in an algebra textbook, like, it might never be real, but it's important to see it in action to understand the energy abounding. So I highly doubt that many people watching this video are considering the 3 jobs, are considering the 7 rental properties, but to me, there's a static electricity in Taurus's mind. Uranus is in your sign, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna do that someday. Like, ooh, I can't sleep, thinking about it. And you gotta kind of neutralize that and start to focus that into really empowering ways, like that one incredible rental property that I made a labor of love, that one business that I stand behind, it's got to really be hearty and real, and it's got to grow, and it's got to, what does it take for growth? Sunlight, water, attention, love, nourishing things. And if we're too entrepreneurial, too like focused on a million different places, it's mediocrity that ends up being the result. Unless we've got like a huge staff of people, or we've got like a huge operation going on. Like that's a little bit different. I'm more so, and I'm not really feeling that that's where many Taurus people are right now. Like I'm not seeing a lot of Taurus people. I mean, I'm sure that they're out there, but I'm seeing them more so being personally focused. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this business. I'm going to like rent out these properties. I'm going to do these jobs. Like, it's not like I'm going to delegate. I'm going to like have a bunch of other people get this together. So depending on where you're at, like just try to think about like toning it down a bit and enjoying the abundance of your life. Like, so is your bedroom environment in order? Do you have a nice nighttime routine? Is your bed right? Is the lighting in the place of rest conducive to rest? Is the feeling that you have when you're lying down at night before you fall asleep something that you would feel proud to tell your descendants about? Would you be proud to tell your descendants about what you're involved in right now? Would that be a source of pride for your ancestral line? This is what really matters right now, okay? And I feel to a degree for everyone, but especially people with like strong Taurus placements, so Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Ascendant, Midheaven people, for almost all of them, there's something that has to be relinquished or something that needs to go because it is not maybe a source of pride for the ancestry. It is not maybe conducive to future growth, and it is hard to face it right here and right now, but it is also very rewarding on the other side, and it is something through facing it that can in and of itself become a great source of ancestral pride. So anyway, let's talk more about that in your extended reading, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here on YouTube. If you're new, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. Your likes and comments make my day as well, and you can click the center of your screen now to jump over to Patreon to get the extended reading, or it will be listed in the description box as well. Have a wonderful August. I'm rooting for you. Y'all got this. You're about to have a much better September too, I think. Much love. Bye.